don't forget to check out Quote IQ. Download that. You get 28-point inspection. If you want to get a customer contract for your business, we have that over at the resource page, pwcourse.com. There is a link in the comment section.
If you're thinking about starting a pressure washing business, but you want to learn more about the equipment, mixing chemicals, how to clean every surface on a residential job site, property protection, and much, much more, check out the How to Wash course. It'll be the first link in the comment section and the description.
Okay, so this one is a little messed up, but it's something that just happened and something that I'm going to share because that's what I do. But anyway, I got an email from a customer, not just any customer. This is a long-term customer. This is somebody that I've been doing business with for probably 16 or 17 years. I used to have a landscape business. We used to take care of their property back when we first started that. I had a motorcycle shop, a custom motorcycle shop called Jailhouse Choppers. And we built him a custom motorcycle, probably 35 grand, something like that. And what else? We'd done some other business. He had owned a couple things and I had, it doesn't really matter, but a long-term relationship, both social and business related. And so, it's one of those things where somebody calls, somebody sends you an email, you're going to take care of them because we like to take care of the people that have taken care of us. Anyway, I get an email from him. He tells me that he's selling his house and that they have realtors coming. They're going to take pictures. He needed to get everything washed. He said he doesn't really care about the price. Just go ahead, get the house done, get the driveway done. Anything else that we see when we're there, just knock it out, send him an invoice. And if we could expedite that, because I can't even remember what the timing was, but in a couple days they were having pictures done. So he wanted it done. So what we did was we rearranged our schedule. I wanted to take care of him, like I said, and not a big deal, right? We just did a little shuffling, maybe inconvenienced some customers, but it is what it is. Long story short, we were able to get out there in an expedited manner and get everything taken care of. And he had mentioned in the email that he was out of town on business. And when he got back, he would double check everything, blah, blah, blah. But just to send the invoice like we always do. So not a big deal. Like I said, we got him on the schedule and we got Mac out there to take care of the property. So the day of the appointment, Mac heads over, he does his pre-inspection using Quote IQ. And we do this at every single property to make sure that we don't miss anything. It also gives our guys the opportunity to walk around the property, see what's up, kind of take a mental picture of the approach they're going to take on that particular job, because we all know every single job is different. And you're going to see things at each property that, might be different. And you're like, okay, well, I need to do this for that or this for this, and make sure that you've got everything set up mentally and then physically when you're doing your when you're setting everything up to get the job done, right? Because you want to be as efficient as possible. But he goes ahead and he's taking his pictures, he's making notes on the pre-inspection form. And we also do this because it helps to mitigate potential liability should something happen when we're out there. If it's, pre-existing conditions, we take notes, we take pictures, and then we send the PDF to the customer prior to starting the job. And if there's anything that really needs to be brought to the homeowner's attention, either myself or the technician, if the homeowner is there, we'll talk with them and let them know. Hopefully they're going to do the pre-inspection with us and they see it firsthand. But we do this prior to any job because we want to make sure that everybody is on the same page, and we do it prior to even cranking up the machine. And if you're interested in using our pre-inspection form, it's in Quote IQ. You can download that on the Apple or the Google Play Store. You can check that out. And we're also giving away a Ford Ranger and a Southeast Soft Wash skid to a premium or platinum subscriber at the end of this month. Just one more benefit of using the fastest growing CRM in the service industry, which is Quote IQ. So in this particular scenario, not only did he take the pre-inspection form, but he also took some videos of the property because it was in such disrepair. And as you can see, there were a bunch of little issues, broken screens, paint issues, wood rot. And obviously when you see stuff like this, you're on heightened alert because there are so many other things that you need to take note of and just really make sure that you're not missing anything, right? But there was nothing really that crazy at this property that he felt he needed to give me a call about or send me the inspection form. He just forwarded it on to the customer. So he gets to work, does the house, he does the driveway. He blew off the roof because there was a bunch of debris up there. He also cleaned the back patio, which was really nasty and in bad shape. There was one window up high that he did notice and did notate that was cracked just a little bit, but decided to avoid that area altogether and used a water-fed pull to gently clean around the windows because there was some buildup and he wanted to make sure that it looked as good as possible. So as always, we go above and beyond in order to satisfy and exceed the customer's expectations. So at the beginning of every job, prior to doing the pre-inspection, our guys go up, they knock on the door to introduce themselves, let the property owners know that they're there so we don't get startled or frightened, or God forbid, someone calls the police, because that has happened in the past. Anyway, she didn't want to do the pre-inspection walkthrough, and she also left the property prior to the completion of the job, so she wasn't able to do the final walkthrough either. And we always do a final walkthrough, whether the homeowner does it or not, just to make sure we don't miss anything, make sure we get all our tools, all the supplies, our tripods, our cameras, everything that we use daily. And the last step of the process is our technicians have been set up as users in QuoteIQ, and they got access to only the things that the owner of the account wants them to have access to, but they have the ability to close out jobs and send the invoices electronically immediately upon completion. And that's just something that I really wanted to build in because it saves me a step in the process and one less thing that I have to do when the job is complete. So everything is done. Mac moves on to his next job. And then I get a text from the homeowner a couple hours later saying that everything looked great, but we had broken a window when we were out there. And he sent a picture. It wasn't the picture of the window that we cleaned with the water-fed pole. So I forwarded on to Mac, and he said that the window was not broken prior to starting, and it wasn't broken during the process, and it wasn't broken during the final walkthrough, at which time I replied back to the customer stating that this was highly unusual, seeing as how we do use a low-pressure process, making it nearly impossible to break a window unless it was previously cracked. I did forward him the pre-inspection form. I didn't want to call him out on how shitty his house was, but I did forward him a couple of the videos that we took during the cleaning process, at which point he replied that he was actually still out of town and his wife had sent him that picture, and that when he got back to town, he was going to give me a call and let me know what was up. So I didn't hear back from him for a couple weeks, and I followed up with him because he hadn't paid his invoice, and I wanted to be sure that if we did have an issue, that we were going to address it. Because sometimes there are situations where it's a he said, she said type of thing, and sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and do what's right for your business. Not necessarily what's right for the customer, because the customer is not always right. But a customer can become an issue if they think that they've been slighted or done wrong by a company. They can leave bad reviews. They can badmouth you to their friends and their family. And while this is just kind of a small impact on your business, it's not something that we really want to deal with. And like I said, sometimes you just got to eat crow, eat that humble pie, pick your phrase of choice. And like Jesse James from West Coast Chopper says, pay up, sucker. And it's not something that I like to do, but it's something that I've done in the past and probably something that I will do in the future, because things like that can go a long way in a lot of ways, but that's for another video. So I called him, went to voicemail, sent him a text to follow up, and he apologized and said that the picture that was sent was an old picture from a window that had already been replaced, and his wife was confused. Now, I'm not exactly sure what exactly happened and what was going on, but I do think that because we had a 28-point inspection in place, because I had forwarded it to both his wife prior to the start and to him when he said we broke the window, as well as the videos that we took, which I sent, highlighting all the issues with the house, none of which included that particular window, which was apparently broken when we were there. So we can all jump to conclusions or make assumptions on what the end game was there, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I'm not paying for the window now. The invoice was paid, and we also got a 5-star review out of the deal. But this just goes to show that as business owners, we need to look after ourselves. Our business is our insurance, because nobody wants to have a claim. And obviously something like a broken window isn't necessarily going to justify an insurance claim, but you will have to come out of pocket, and that's not what we want to do either, right? That sucks. So make sure that you protect yourself on every level, from forming an LLC when you're starting your business, which separates your personal assets from your business assets, and that's protection. Getting the proper business insurance, workers' comp if needed, and of course, having something in place like a customer contract, as well as a 28-point inspection, because these things actually work. They're going to make a difference in your business. They're going to save you money. They're going to save you headaches, and they're going to protect you. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do not forget, you need to cover your ass because nobody else will. Don't forget to check out QuoteIQ. Download that. You get 28-point inspection. If you want to get a customer contract for your business, we have that over at the resource page, pwcourse.com. There is a link in the comments section. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, we're giving away that soft wash skid and a Ford Ranger at the end of the month. So make sure you are a platinum or a premium subscriber, and you will have your chance to win that. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. Always protect yourself.